Well, good
Well, good
morning.
morning. Good
How is that
morning.
up there? What is that?
It's Monday.
Okay, I don't
Yay.
know
I just
what
woke up
that
from
is,
bed saying,
y'all, but I'm taking it out.
yes, it is
Oh
Monday.
my God, there's two of me. What the heck? Okay, getting rid of that. What in the world? Ooh, Lord Jesus. And let me tell you something. I'm hitting the bell of purpose on that. You know, I almost got about the chair and ran out the house, right? Now, when your own image can scare you to that degree, it's time to make some kind of change. I don't know what that was. It's feeding in from all over the place. But you know, when you do live television, you have to be ready for just about everything. Good morning, everybody. How are you? You know where you're at. Come on, don't play. Get off the front porch. Get in here. Take your shoes off, though. Wipe your feet off. Get in here and sit at least 6 feet from me. But get in here. It's time to start Tuesday's episode of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Loren Michaels Harris, and we are streaming, obviously, clearly, live across Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Android, Apple TV, Periscope, and Amazon Fire Stick. And last but not least, let's not forget our home base out in Phoenix, Arizona, E360 TV live. And also, hats off, tipping my hat, round of applause, bell ringing for my sponsor for this week. It is symposium.us, where you can turn your conversation into currency. I know how, because I've done it over 20 times myself. And I just found out yesterday from the people, Troy Ropes and his group, that I am their highest earner right now. And there's about, I don't know, 400 or 500 people on that platform. So, hey, congratulations to the brand, the top earner over. But you know what? And I mean this to you guys. You know, everybody's looking for multiple. Well, maybe you're not, but you need to be. I am telling you, I have talked to so many professionals, so many experts about this new normal. And I want you to know something. You know, you can do like my one friend, Tim Johnson, who converted all his money into silver. You can do like all kinds of other people and pull your money out of the bank and put it under the mattress. But what the smart people are doing is developing multiple streams of income. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'm telling you now. So you want to get over it or go anywhere. I don't care where you get it. Just get it. Like Olita Adams said. I don't care how you get here, just get here if you can. Well, I don't care how you get it. Just get it if you want it, because you need multiple streams of income. So you can get over, download the app today at the App Store or Google, and download symposium.us. I have clients who are tutoring kids over there right now. I know a high school girl who's reading stories to kids over there every day. There's an arts and craft hour a lady is doing over there, vision boarding, cooking classes, yoga, anything you're good at, and you need, somebody is looking for something to do right now. Who in here, how many times have you walked into a room in your house in the last month and went, what I come in here for? That's how bored we are. I'm glad, because I used to think it was just me and my senior moments. Now all y'all dealing with it. How's it feel? That is the bell of purpose ringing in the background. For those of you who are new to the show here in season 4, this is new. The bell of purpose is there so that all of us can seize the opportunity, which is an innate need within all of us, believe it or not, to be a part of something greater than ourselves. So when our guest says something that is moving, that if you were in church, you'd go, can I get an amen up in here? I don't know where's my church band? Here it is. You know, when they say something that makes you like, woo, I hear you preach. You better preach. You're going to hear the bell of purpose ring. That's your chance to to become a part of what's greater than all of us. That means send some hearts, first of all. That's your way of clapping, round of applause, standing ovation for our guest. Okay, let's support them and let them know we're glad that they're spending their time with us. Next, take this finger, or whatever finger is your primary one on your device, use it to invite people, share the broadcast, or just start a watch party, whatever, your choice. What it means is you want everybody you know to say, you know, there's some good stuff going on over on Bathrobe Moments today, and I don't want you, because I love you, I don't want you to miss it. So, and today is really, I mean, every day's like that here, but today's even more so. Trust me. Why? Because I have some people coming to us all the way from Italy. I know. Oh, so sorry for you quarantining in Italy. Anyway, okay. I'm in therapy. I'm serious. I had a session with my therapist yesterday. I think I'm going to add Hayton to the list of things I need to work on. I'm just jealous. That's all. I mean, never mind. That's another show. So who do we have here today? We actually have Charlie and Alaska Xavier. Now they're used to live in Vegas. They've been everywhere. If you go on their page, they have a thing on there where they show you all the places. Again, how nice for y'all. I'm gonna go to therapy. But they have this really great brand, V-Phase Body Cleanse. Now, if you guys remember last Wednesday, a week tomorrow, we did the special, the 90-minute special, Forgotten Voices, the youth of the coronavirus pandemic. And one of the kids on there was Jordan and his mother, Tracy, who was here in Chicago in January. I met her, in February for my event, but I met her in January when I spoke in New Jersey. And Tracy and her crew came, and I met Jordan when I spoke in Jersey. And, then right after they left here, it was a couple weeks later, this whole thing started. And you all know Jordan, when I had all the kids raise their hands and I said, have any of you had anybody pass away in your family or contract the virus? Jordan broke the record with all 19 kids, 4 people. 3 of those people passed away. Well, the one who didn't in his family, Tracy, and we're not claiming that this cleanse that we're talking about saved Tracy's mama, but it's sure she didn't die, and she didn't go back to the hospital. Thank you, Jesus, as of yet. And when you see what this couple has to show you today, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. Now, I made one of their recipes that I saw on their page on one of their videos. I made it this weekend, and it was scrumptious delicious. 3 on that. So good that Dr. Janice Hooker-Fortman, one of my coaching clients, drove an hour yesterday to pick up some of it. Yes, she did. And no, we didn't break quarantine. I laid it in the driveway, backed up. She got out and took it. That's how it worked. And I got a free mask out of the deal. So I'm going to bring our guest in, Charlie in Alaska and Charlie, because I don't want them to think I'm showing any kind of favoritism. And Charlie's a hat guy. So you see, I found the biggest hat I could so I could fit this headset underneath it. So Charlie's here, Alaska's here, and there they are. Hi, guys.
Hey, Loren.
Hi.
How are you?
Or ciao.
Well, very, very good. Thank you. How are you?
Oh, you're going to throw your little Italian, up. Oh, Motra lavacha. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means?
No, educate us.
That literally means I'll slap your face.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, you know how I know that? I know. I mean it, Charlie. Don't whoop my ass when you meet me in person. I was just kidding. I had a voice coach once, and she was Italian. When I was doing all that classical, you know how you have a coach for every kind of singing. And my classical teacher was Italian. And when you weren't doing it right, she would slam her little ruler down and say "Motra lavacha." I'll never forget that. So anyway, welcome to the show. How are you two?
We're great. Thank you very much.
Good.
Shining.
I see that. Now, I know it's right around 7 p.m. there. And you are where in Italy exactly?
Sardinia.
We're in Sardinia. So Sardinia is an island. It's just off the west coast of Rome and just above Sicily. So we're on a relatively small island.
Well, does the name have anything to do with sardines?
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Oh. Okay, I thought I was being clever because, sometimes there's, look who's here. The reset coach in the house. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
And let me say good morning to all of you beautiful people who have shown up. Now's the chance. Listen, you guys, listen, Linda. Listen, right now, I'm not kidding. I know. Okay, I'm learning in therapy yesterday. He was telling me there's a difference between assertive and aggressive. So I'm getting ready to be assertive. Hi, won't you please invite someone to this broadcast? You could be saving their lives. That's part of the exercise, breathing. If you don't, I'm just kidding. I'm serious. Anyone you love, anyone right now, there's no one on the face of this planet, literally, who cannot benefit from what we're going to talk about and show you on this show today. So hit the button, invite people. When you see what we're going to show you, and seen. That's all I'm going to say. So now do it. You have time right now. Get people here. You could be saving their life. At minimum, you're going to be living a better life. Trust that. So you guys tell everybody how you got started. And then I'm going to show them a little video. But go ahead.
Awesome. So I actually used to be a published model and I fell ill.
What does that mean, published?
So I was published on TV, magazines. I had a manager. I was contracted for 2 years.
Girl,
Yeah.
all you gotta say is, and I was getting paid.
I was getting
That's all you
paid.
gotta say. You know, I wasn't playing at it. I know
No
I know
playing.
why you say that, because it's just like coaches. Everybody and their brother is a coach. Speakers. Everybody and their brother. It ain't made a penny on it with it. Right. So
I made a lot of pennies. Okay.
Okay. There you go. Put it on out there then.
Yeah.
So okay, go on.
So, as a model, you have to sustain a certain weight. Otherwise, you get put out of the game. And literally, that's what started happening to me. I started gaining a lot of weight. I gained almost 200. I was almost 200 pounds. So I went from 135 to almost 200 pounds in a year. And I couldn't figure out what was going on with me. So no programs were working. None of the phentermines were, the Hollywood pill, that didn't work. I went to gyms, personal trainers, their regimens didn't work. And so I started to try and figure out, the little go-to, the Hollywood diet drinks that, a lot of people go to. You lose 10 pounds in 2 days, whatever. Still didn't work. So I had to start figuring out what was wrong with me, because I started to develop arthritis. I got a lump in my left boob, and just a lot of medical things were happening to me. And the only solution that a lot of doctors came up with was surgery or medication, and I didn't want either one.
Now, had you met Charlie yet when all this was happening?
I did meet Charlie. I did know Charlie.
Were you dating? Were you?
Leading up to figuring out what was wrong with me, I think in the middle of all of that, that's when I met Charlie. So my weight started to increase by the summer, because we met during the winter, and things started increasing for me by the summer. And Charlie was back and forth from England around the time, like a lot. Huh?
Yeah.
So Charlie saw all this happening.
Yeah.
That you were just blowing up and all this. Charlie, the reason I brought that up, because that speaks Charlie a good guy. Because most of them would have been like, lose my number, right? Well, because a lot of people don't know how to deal with change and crisis and this and the other, especially when you're in the dating mode. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Ain't Sweet Browns. Ain't nobody got time for that. But Charlie stuck around, and as we see, that was definitely destiny.
Yeah, absolutely.
At work.
I agree.
Okay, so maybe now's a good time. You guys tell me. Now's a good time for me to cut over and show them the short video?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of how we got started.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, you guys take a look. Here we go. This is V-Phase Body Cleanse.
All right, so we're about to load this car up with massive amount of inventory.
Okay, wow. So that shows the process that you guys started this like a lot of people from their dining room table. Can you hear? Everybody okay? Can you hear me?
No sound.
No sound. I hear you. Let me see what they're saying. Hold on. I'm gonna see what the people are saying on Facebook. Wait a minute. Okay. Can you guys hear me out in TV land?
No.
Not you guys. Let me see. Let me take me out on Facebook.
Can you hear him on this?
It's not going to be.
Don't worry, I'll figure it out. Oh, go back out and come in.
Okay, we can hear you
We
now.
can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
That's weird. I brought you out and brought you back in. Okay. So, and they're not saying that they can't hear me. Oh, they said they can hear. Good thing we wasn't talking smack. What is this stuff popping? Microsoft, if you don't get off my screen, hold on, you guys. I gotta get rid of them. I am not trying to. Okay, there we go. So listen, so that showed how you guys get started. And apparently, the tribal practitioner was like a mentor.
He was, yeah. Alan Boyer. We actually met him in Vegas, and funnily enough, he grew up about half an hour from where I grew up in the north of England.
Oh yeah.
And we actually met in Vegas, and he was actually a former MI6 agent. He was like a secret spy back in the day. Yeah, really interesting guy.
Yeah.
And he actually helped us a lot in the conception of V-Phase Body Cleanse. And sadly, he died of brain cancer a couple of years back now on Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow.
In 2018. Yeah. We got a phone call saying that he passed away, which is just devastating.
Yeah.
Right.
It was aggressive, so.
Yeah, he was like our father, he was like a father figure to us.
Oh, wow. Well, thank goodness that you guys found each other before Charlie transitioned, because obviously some great things came as a result of that meeting. Now, I do want to say this, Alaska. I know, people might not believe this, but actually all three of us have something in common. Clearly, Charlie and I have a love for brims and that sort of thing. And then, Alexa, believe it or not, you and I were both published models.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm lying. Well, actually, I did. I won $5,000 when I won that competition. But
that's
the reason
more than many can say.
That was 5 years ago. And I'm 57, so I was 52 at the time. And I'm really proud of that because I beat 3,000 competitors and I had lost a boatload of weight. The reason I brought that up was because I am now, I'll be 58 this year, and I know it. I'm honest with myself. There's most likely more life behind me than there is ahead of me. And so I'm always looking for new ways to increase my quality of life every day, because I know today I will never be younger again than I am right now. So when new things come along, and when Tracy spoke about the cleanse, something kind of hit me. No, it didn't kind of hit me. It hit me because I was like, well, that cleanse must really be something she believes in. Because if your mama's in the hospital and people are falling around, you had three at the time, she probably didn't have 3 members that had already passed, but that was going to happen. But there were still people succumbing to this virus all over the world. We were seeing the numbers rise at an alarming rate. No way to get away from that data. Now, she reached for your cleanse as like a flotation device for a person that she saw drowning in something. And that's what spoke to me. She told me the story, how she said, they took her out of the hospital. She said, I'm not going to tell you to go vegan because you're supposed to go vegan when you do the cleanse. But she gave it to her and things started turning around. That's just a fact. We don't know if it was prayer, combination of prayer and this, but it obviously didn't hurt. So that made me, and just the fact that Tracy reached there first, that spoke volumes to me. So, because I buried 2 mothers, my biological and my adoptive mother. And I know, we all know, you don't play around. You can say anything, you can talk about anything in this world. Just don't talk about my mama. I'll kill you dead.
Exactly.
Kill you dead.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? You want to see a mad ass drag queen come out on you. I'm just playing. That's my alter ego. That's Chiquita Jackson. You don't want her showing up on your door. Let me tell you. So anyway, so that is why this is so. And then here's another thing that spoke to me. When I went in and started watching what you guys were doing, I saw that soup. Charlie in the kitchen, Chef Charlie with his little sidekick commentator, who he kept wanting to tell, look, this is my show. But anyway, and I did it. I actually made this. I made this soup. This is the butternut squash and pineapple soup. When I started, it looked like this. I tried to do my little stuff like Charlie did on the show, and it was great. And I am now dedicated. All I did was make healthy food that oops, wait a minute, how'd that get in there? Yeah, I made a pie. I made a pie just in case I needed something sweet to wash the soup down with. But I'm getting there. But beautiful, beautiful dish, Charlie. And you created that dish. Dr. Jan took half of it with her last night. So I have enough for Brian and I today. But vegan. So I'm assuming you both are vegan.
Yes, we are, yeah.
How long is that? Were you vegan when you met each other, or was this something you did when you got married?
No, this during dating. Dating phase.
You converted him, didn't you, Alaska?
I did.
I knew it.
I did. I was first. I dropped everything cold turkey and just started drinking juice. And that led me into eating, raw fruits and vegetable solids. And then from there, cleansing. And Charlie seen what happened to me. And, I told him what I wanted to do, for the world, period, because of what it did for me. And I believe that that's why Charlie, came into that.
I'm not trying to just show me. I was trying to it told me I could blow you guys up. It's not working. I wanted me. I can take me out. So listen. So when you were going through all this stuff, the lump and gaining weight and all this, were you fearful for your life? Oh, Lord. Wait a minute.
You feel a lump.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Breast cancer. Yeah, you can hear. I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah. So what was going through your mind? I mean, it was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I thought I had breast cancer, to be honest. I thought, all of these symptoms were due to the lump that grew, and I thought I had breast cancer. I was going to the cancer center. Charlie came with me. The doctor even got into an argument with Charlie because we decided to be holistic and go the holistic route versus surgery and medication.
How interesting. Brian and I were on a reality show in Mexico last summer called 8 Days, where the 5 people living in the house were all in Mexico to go through holistic cancer treatments in lieu of traditional radiation and chemo here in the States. And so we learned a lot about that. Yeah. And no sign of disease is where they were all at the end of the road there. So sounds like the same prognosis for you.
Right.
So you didn't have surgery or anything?
No. I chose the holistic route. I chose cleansing. I put CBD on my boob, and I also changed my eating habits, my diet. My diet was very raw anyhow, so I just kept it raw. And from there, months later, the lump started shrinking. My hair was even shorter than this. My hair was above my ears at the time. And I couldn't grow my hair for like 14 years, after having my daughter.
Oh my God, me either. Try like 40 years. No, I'm not kidding. I was 16 and I was like, what the hell? Looking in right. My sister cursed me. I'm convinced of it. She had a doll somewhere in her room. Oh, evil ass. I'm just putting hair. Yes, I'm putting pins in it. So, okay. So let's talk about what people do know. People are aware, like in your video, on one of the videos on your page, which is quite informative. And for those of you, I want you guys to let me pull that up while I'm asking. But there are a lot of things that people know. There's things that people think they know. There's some things that people know that are outdated and the information has changed. All of the above. But on there, I heard somebody mention about we carry anywhere from 5 pounds to 25 pounds or something like that of fecal matter that just stays inside. Now, I had heard that before because Brian was listening somewhere in the house. He was like, that's true. I heard that before. But Lord, oh Lord. And here's if you guys want to check out, there's the link. I'm going to leave it up there for a minute. But then you started talking about this thing that I had never heard of. Because I remember I was like doing stuff here at the desk, kind of like off to the side. And all of a sudden, I was like, what the hell is she holding? Right. And it was that thing in your hand called
mucoid plaque.
Only plaque I've ever heard of is, there's plaque that can be around your heart. We hear about that with heart disease. And then, of course, on our teeth. But in our gut. Now, first of all, tell people about the 3 brains.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so most people think that we just have one brain in the body, which is obviously in the head. Now, the body has, in fact, 3 brains. So you have the head brain, you have the heart brain, and you also have the gut brain. Now, the interesting thing about the heart brain is that it can work together with the head brain or independently from it. And also, the heart actually sends more neurons to the brain than the brain sends to the heart, which then starts to open up the question of what is the true function of the heart, other than actually just pumping blood around the body, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of resurfacing a lot of science that's been in lots of different cultures for actually a very, very long time. And you can go back 2,000 years and look at some Eastern philosophies, like the Taoist monk philosophies, and when they talk a lot about the heart and its functionality, and obviously the rest of the organs too, like the gut. And the heart actually, emotionally, when we experience different emotions, the heart will actually beat at different rhythms when we experience different emotions. It will change the rhythm in which it actually beats. But the heart's actually a very intuitive organ. And, the nervous system alone is just incredibly complex. Now, just moving down to the third brain, which is the gut brain, the gut and the actual head brain are made from the same piece of tissue when we're embryos. So as we're developing as an embryo, the gut
Mm-hmm.
and the brain develop from the same piece of tissue. So it's made of the same stuff. And again, the gut has a really, really complex nervous system. It can work together or separately from the head brain. And it also deals with a lot of hormone regulation as well. So it alters our moods, for instance. And actually 90% of the body's serotonin is made in the gut. So a lot of the issues that people have with depression, for instance, can be related to toxicity in the gut. And the gut is not producing as much serotonin as what it should be doing, hence why people get depressed.
So right now, because I already know, and I don't want you all to tune out in there, because I already know, because there's. Let me just say this is true. There it is. The bell rang. It's got to be true. Let's talk about this real quick so we can get it off the table, because I already know what y'all are out there thinking, because I was thinking it too. I was like, if I got to give up my meat to do this cleanse, I don't think so. Matter of fact, I had a whole pot of Spanish oxtails with your soup, but I was shamed. I was shamed into showing it. I actually had loaded the photo, and I was like, no, they're vegan. I don't want to be judged. And then let's talk about that, because a lot of people feel like, it's like being around a person who doesn't ever have to pick up a book and they get all A's. You don't want to tell them, well, yeah, I was up all night just trying to get the pre-test done. What is that thing about, why should people even consider the vegan route? Can you have something? Can you have one foot in both worlds? Or do you really just got to bite the bullet and say, bye meat? Well, and it's not just meat, because vegan is all the other stuff too. Tell people what you do not consume as a vegan.
We don't consume animal flesh. Eggs are animal flesh. Fish is animal flesh. Seafood, dairy, so we don't consume that. It's not easy. So we're not militant. We don't put unrealistic, things out there, because we know people need time to understand and also accept this in their life, There's a lot of our foods, if you know, they have a lot of drugs in them too. So a lot of us were addicted and are addicted to foods. Cheese alone has so many prescriptions Vicodin in there, so we're addicted to a lot of these processed foods out there, and it's not our fault.
Yeah, and to us, it's a question of sustainability. The meat, seafood, and dairy industry is not sustainable anymore. There's far too many people on the planet for us to be all consuming meat, especially in the amounts that we're doing it. So we're no longer in a position where we have to go out and hunt and survive, for food and kill animals and things like that. So there are other options out there, and as everybody's seen, veganism is huge. It's a massively expansive industry. And it's about sustainability. It's about ethical choices. It's about, do you really want to eat a pig that's been tortured? Do you really want to consume something like that? The animal has suffered all of its life, and then you're going to eat that? Just think about the whole process of putting that kind of energy inside of your body, you know.
Yeah, and I'm maybe you guys too. I know I have. I've seen a lot of data, a lot of video work, and read about, you know, when the animal is tortured and you consume it, you take in that same stuff and it becomes a part of you. And I learned a lot of that actually this time last year when we were preparing to take my nonprofit down to Atlanta, you know, that's all about kids, the Power of We Symposium. And inside of that, there is an essay contest. And the kids always have to write about how I plan to change the world. Well, one of the essay contributors wrote about the growing of lab-grown meat, where they take some of the skin off and grow the meat so you don't. And he was talking about the bones. When every time you throw away a chicken bone, it does this and creates these gases and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, just his essay alone made me want to clean my freezer out. So I'm like, okay, you know, but let's go back to the V cleanse. So if a person is interested after they see what we're about to show them, does it mean how does it work? Is it a sliding scale? If the cleaner you eat, the better your results are? Or, okay, talk about that real quick while I set up the video.
Yeah, the cleaner you eat, the more that you eat raw, that gives your body time to start getting the bad debris out the way. It helps to break up that debris and prepare it for the cleanse to remove it out of your system. So the more raw you eat, it's the more helpful to your body.
Yeah.
And when you say debris, what do you define debris?
So the hydrated fecal matter that's stuck throughout your colon and the lining of your intestines, the buildup of mucoid plaque and intestinal parasites. It starts to help accept the nutrients from the raw fruits and vegetables and absorb and break up all the bad stuff, preparing your body to expel it out of your body.
You've also got a lot of toxins in there as well. So a lot of lifestyle-based diseases start off in the engine of the body, which is the gut. So it starts there, and it's the toxicity that builds up in the gut, and then that leaks out into the rest of the body, and then you will start to develop lifestyle-based diseases. So if you can clean the gut, clean the toxicity, the radiation, like we're exposed to radiation all the time. So if you can get that out of the body, the heavy metals like cadmium, like lead, aluminum, for instance.
The AC/DC.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're always on our phones.
Yes.
So you're expelling a lot of toxicity out of the body. So if you are raw, you're getting 100% of the nutrients from the fruit or the vegetables. So it's going to be a lot more effective, and it's going to completely transform you, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually. It's a complete mind, body, spirit experience. That's what this is.
Yeah, and another thing for people that, like, you know, people go out and they buy these whole nutrients, these supplements. Nothing's really happening. You're not absorbing that 100% of those nutrients at all, only just a fraction of it, because you have this lining in your intestines that's all they're doing is just bouncing off and just going out. That's it. It's not able to penetrate and give you the nutrients you need.
Well, what's going on currently around the world with this pandemic, what do you say are some of the immune system benefits of a cleanse like yours?
So with the situation with the virus, I mean, we've had direct experience of this, and now we were just as shocked as everybody else was in terms of, you know, the effects. And you did touch on, you know, Tracy, who's actually a colleague of ours. Her family members contracted coronavirus. There's actually 4 in total, including her mother. Well, the only person that did our cleanse survived. The other 3, unfortunately and very sadly, passed away from the coronavirus. And I mean, as a scientific study, it's not conclusive, but there is enough there to raise an eyebrow, you know, to go, well, wow, yeah, well, that is extraordinary. So we believe that it's about the immune system, and it's people with compromised immune systems that the disease affects most of all. There are a lot of scientists coming out there right now, very highly educated mainstream scientists, which are saying the same thing. It's not a virus issue that we have.
Right.
It's a compromised immune system problem that we have. So if we can address that, then we can address this issue of the virus. So we
for the most part, that's the primary sector.
Yeah.
That's passing away is compromised.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There we go.
And it's from poor lifestyle choices.
Yeah.
Poor lifestyle.
You know,
and I agree.
Unfortunately.
I agree with that because when I made just slight changes, 2% here, 1% there, because, you know, earlier when we were talking about giving up meat, that was a 100% mindset. But little changes, little adjustments led me to bigger, because I always say a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. So I wasn't ready to give up. So let's say this. Having said that, if I wanted to try this cleanse, would it be okay if I went totally vegan while I was doing the cleanse?
Yes.
If
absolutely.
I told myself, well, I'll stop and I'll just go totally vegan. And how long is the cleanse?
Well,
because if you say 5 years,
no, you would cleanse for 28 days, so that's the full cleanse, and you would do what was called a quantum detox, and people can find that product on our website. That is all 4 phases of the cleanse. You have to do all 4 phases. Well, we do have shorter cleanses and also cleanses that only have maybe phase 1 in there. But the all singing, all dancing is the quantum detox.
Yeah.
And you would do that for 28 days, which is no time at all.
Yeah,
it's
what's
no
28 days out of your life?
And the change that happens within that 28 days is just astounding.
Describe it.
It's an emotional experience. Like, for instance, we had a conversation yesterday with people that were contacting us in our coaching group. Because we don't just sell products, we also coach everybody through that whole process. So it's a whole experience that people are buying into. And they were saying
showing
that,
you it's not a pork chop.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They were saying to us, one person was saying that they were having dreams about certain things that were happening in their past that they've not thought about for years. Another person was saying that they were having a total kind of spiritual experience, where they were having lots of visions and insights and things like that. And what's actually happening is that you are actually cleansing emotions, because emotions can be stored within the body, not just within the brain, but within the body. And remember when we first started the conversation about the brains, well, you have 3 brains, not just one, and they all have they all have the ability to store memories. Yeah. So when you're cleansing, you're actually cleansing memories, and you're confronting issues that are just buried deep within you. That all come up during this cleanse. It's absolutely amazing.
It's amazing.
It never fails to amaze me, even though we've done multiple cleanses.
Yeah. As soon as we heard news of the coronavirus, we actually started to cleanse. And we still, even after multiple cleanses, we still experienced all of these emotions. There's so much that we've gone through. We're in our late 30s, so over time you do experience so many things, and that's built up and pinned up in your system. So you're going to address some things that need to be removed.
Well, speaking of, a lot of us think we know ourselves. And I tell you what made me, what really turned me around, like to change myself, like what you saw earlier, I'll never forget it. I accidentally woke up during my colonoscopy procedure when I was 50. You turn 50, you go get that. And I just woke up for a second. I looked at the screen and they were scoping, and I was like, oh my God, that's the inside of my body. And then back to sleep I went. But when I woke up, all I could think about was, man, there's a lot going on inside. See, we don't have glass bottom bodies where, like, if we had glass on the front where we could look at, ooh, Alexa, girl, have you seen your spleen lately? You know what I mean? Charlie, what's going on with your, I almost said uterus. Sorry. What's going on with your kidney? You know, but we don't.
I mean, if he can have the kids, that's fine.
You see what I'm saying? But we don't. And unfortunately, oftentimes the only communication that we listen to, and a lot of people don't even listen to that, as far as our body speaking back to us, is when something is wrong. But then 90% of us, and that's my own guesstimate, is that, well, many of us, especially in our culture, the African-American culture, we're good at self-diagnosing. Oh, it ain't nothing but a little gas, you know, whatever. And you're leaking fluids and stuff like this. So let's talk about this thing. Y'all get ready. I'm eating this. I'm going to save a piece in case I need to change the taste in my mouth. Because this video here, let me just warn you, for real and not for play. Get ready, because I guarantee you this is getting ready to make you go. So here's a great chance. Invite people right now, or at least share it afterwards, because we're going to show you what this mucoid plaque. Now, this is an actual, go ahead, set it up, Alaska, since it's you.
Yeah, well, this is me after doing my full 28-day cleanse, and sharing with everybody what passes out of our bowels, which is mucoid plaque ropes and mucus-like material. So what you're going to see is me holding and describing what you're seeing.
And I'm just saying, y'all, I'm ready. You think I ain't? Shoot. Okay, let's take a look.
So once again, this is mucoid plaque. It does, there you go. There's a really good picture of it. You see all the little knots? That's all the bad toxins and foods that are still stuck in our stomachs, in our intestines, okay? It's still stuck all in there, okay? And it just it has a hard time coming out, which is why we need to help our bodies, okay? Doctors don't give you this, okay? Doctors want to give you prescription medications to take care of any illnesses when the problem lies within our bodies, okay? It lies within our...
Girl. You know, that ropes of mucoid plaque. Now, that looks like some stuff that, you know how they take a Twinkie and said, 1,000 years from now, that Twinkie would still be, that looked like some of that kind of stuff that could survive the Holocaust. What is that?
Could.
Is it gummy?
Now, it's gooey. It's like really kind of rubbery gooey, so
if you would have pulled it, would it have stretched or broken?
It would have stretched a lot first, and then it would have broke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And so if you leave that out in the air, because see, that's the kind of kid I was. The reason I have that Stretch Armstrong is because of followers in it. Because, I think I opened 6 or 7 of those as a kid. I had to cut them open to see what was making them work. And so if I was holding some mucoid plaque, I probably would have put it on a paper plate and let it dry to see what it was like then. So the composition, is that from meat? Is that fat? Is that toxins? Is that everything bad? And is everything it like, bad. You know what that reminds me of? When you've had a stopped up sink and you got to get some liquid Drano or some liquid plumber, and they show you on the commercial how the pipes, because our intestines are the pipes. And you guys think about it. I have never heard of anybody that had an intestine, like you would get a heart, what do you call that? A liver transplant and an intestine transplant. I don't think they have those. So you got to take care of the ones you have.
Yeah.
Now, how many feet of intestine do we have, Charlie? Answer what you were going to say. Didn't answer my question.
I was literally just going to say then, you just channeled Alan Boyer. You literally, because that's how he used to explain it.
Really?
He used to explain it as it's like Drano for the body.
Yeah.
That's exactly the analogy that he used to use on every single piece of.
Thank you, Alan.
So he just came through just for a second there. That's amazing.
So can you expect to see mucoid plaque from 1 to 28 day, or does it depend on how a lot of other things, your body size, your body weight, how long you've been, what kind of things compromised you? How does that work? I just can't see that it's one size fits all and everyone can expect the same results. How's that work?
Right. That's a top question that we get all the time. And actually majority people experience mucoid plaque, usually after just a week of cleansing. it could be the day 3 and they're already experiencing it. There's very rare cases where people have not experienced mucoid plaque and then they cleanse again and they experience it the next time.
Oh wow, I'm reading all these comments. Oh wait, I don't want that. I want that other one. Where? Oh, here we go. Hi Janice Hooker Fortman, says Tracy Randolph. No meat while cleansing, raw vegan diet while cleansing. Dr. Jan, she picked up your soup last night. What? No meat for 28 days? See what I mean? I feel you, Dr. Jan. Yeah, girl.
We've had doctors cleansing as well.
Yeah. And a lot of the doctors that have done our cleanse have been absolutely amazed.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that have actually started off being very skeptical, and then they've experienced it and they've gone, wow, this is life changing.
Yeah.
Yes. Now Tracy makes a great point here, and I know this is true because I learned a lot about this when I was at the cutting phase of my transformation. I learned a lot about, all the things that make things look and act the way they do. And absorption is key. You got to move that gook out of the way. It's like if you have a sponge and you're trying to wipe your kitchen counter off, get a spill up, and your sponge has a layer of grease over it, like you spread some Crisco over the sponge and you lay the sponge down on top, just because it's a sponge on top, that it can't, the liquid can't get through that grease. Same thing with the nutrients in our body. They have to be absorbed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So let's talk about when you guys were creating your product. I mean, come on now. I mean, did you have beakers and Bunsen burners and you're like, who tested? Who did you test this stuff on? Yourself?
Ourselves. Yeah. We've always been the guinea pig for our product. So we've tested everything on ourselves. Every time we come out with a new cleanse, I test it on me first, then I have Charlie join in, then our kids and our family, and then it bleeds out into our customers and our community.
Absolutely. But we're not actually using anything harmful. So
No.
Everything that we use is 100% natural. It's 100% organic. So there's no additives. Everything's plant-based. And so it's going to do nothing really harmful to the body. We're measuring the effects. But we actually started all of the experiments, I suppose, in our kitchen in Las Vegas. That's where we actually started the business. And we developed a prototype kit. We found that actually cleansing, if you were to go out there and buy all of the products that you would need to do one of these 28-day cleanses, it would cost you about $1,000
or more.
It's incredibly expensive to buy all the different components, especially the herbs. The Ayurvedic herbs that we use are very, very expensive. So we managed to bring that margin right down to make it really affordable for people. And also to get just the right amounts of everything, just get the all of the different components just perfect.
Yeah.
So it actually works really well.
Took a lot of research.
Dr. Jan wants to know again. I think we maybe alluded to it, but let's just talk about that real quick. We're about 9 minutes away. How long does it take to pass the mucoid plaque?
Well, you would pass some mucoid plaque within a 28-day cleanse. However, to completely cleanse the body, it would take you approximately 4 years. But you would be doing this cleanse 4 times a year.
Yeah, and that would be the quantum detox.
Yeah, you would do a quantum detox 4 times a year for 4 years to get everything out of the body. And then you would then have supplementary cleanses after that.
Now, okay, go ahead.
And I was just going to say that just think about the amount of time that it's taken you to actually develop all of this toxicity within the body. Yeah. And then people are under the impression that we can just get rid of it within 28 days. It's
good point.
It's a pipe dream. It's pipe dream.
Good point. Nice one. No pun intended. Pipe dream. But Shelley Dale says, good morning, everyone. Can't wait to try this cleanse. Gut health is everything. Now, here's the thing. Here's a point that I want to bring up because I know it's a fact. When you do this, brace yourself. Buckle your seatbelt because you're getting ready to get on a bumpy ride known as elevated energy. Because once your body can absorb all the stuff you talk about, I remember when that happened to me, I didn't need coffee. I forgot I even had a coffee pot. And I was a one pot a day person because now when I wasn't waking up like this, it didn't take me 40 minutes. Soon as I woke up, I was like, jumped out of the bed because my body was working like it was intended to work. Everything. I started going to sleep when I needed to. It's just everything's just started. It was like somebody was moving levers and things were moving down and clicking into place like they were naturally, organically
meant to do.
And that's true. So let's talk about this because I know a lot of people. I always like to ask my guests the questions I know all of them out there are thinking about right now. A lot of people are finding themselves in financial straits where, I got to borrow from Paul to pay Pete. I got to stretch this out. I got kids. I got to take care of my grandmama, my mama, my sister who ain't worth a dime and her 12 kids, whatever it is, So let's talk about, because that's the thing. I remember with my product, I used to people, big excuses. I don't have time or I don't have enough money. I can't afford it. No, you can't afford to. And you know what I would do when people said they couldn't afford it, especially women? I would take them into, can I see your vanity thing, either your bathroom or in your bedroom on the dresser? And they'd have all those perfume bottles and nail polish bottles. I said, you know what? If you think you can't afford it, keep playing. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Every one of those bottles one day is going to be replaced by a prescription bottle. It sure is interesting how you can't do what you know you need to do when it's your choice, but you can sure do it when somebody in a white lab coat is sitting across from you and saying, if you don't change this, you will die. Oh, okay, I can do that. I got no problem with it. But that doesn't mean it's not too late. If you want to get ahead of it, it's just like when you have a toothache. They tell you, stay in front of the pain. I think that's the mindset for good quality of life. Because I'm not trying to just get old. There are old people sitting in nursing homes and in places sitting in the corner drooling because they've had strokes and didn't die. They've had heart attacks that can't walk, all kinds of things. You don't want to just get old. You want to get old with a great quality of life. So let's talk about how people can make this work on a stimulus check. You know what I'm saying? Or where do people start if they are waiting until things get back a little normal, the sea has calmed financially, but they say, I really would like to get started now. Where do they go? What products? How do they maybe stair step into the full thing for that person who's working on a dime?
Right. If they can't, afford the quantum detox, which is the ultimate cleanse, that is the one. But if you can't, then you take it a step down to the one level, just the one phase cleanse, which is the macro cleanse, because that actually helps you get started. It helps introduce the cleanse to your system. It helps introduce clean eating and just changing your lifestyle just off of phase one, and don't get used to being, stuck on phase one. You want to ultimately take your body to the next level. You want to clean your system and get all of the bad stuff out and elevate yourself.
But it is affordable. And also you are eating raw vegan, and everybody says it's going to be so expensive buying fruits and vegetables. Actually, we spend less when we're cleansing than what we do spend when we're just having a normal diet. So you're actually spending less money anyway on shopping, etc. So we do have a range of products that vary in prices. So it works for people that are on a budget, but this is vastly cheaper than what it would cost you if you were to go out there and buy all of these products yourself, which is one of the main problems that we found initially when we were developing the product.
Right.
Let me ask real quick. I'm sorry. I just want to get this in. We got like 4 minutes. I want to ask, what about people that are thinking, I don't, because it's not just about me, it's about my family. What about children? At what age should a person do a cleanse?
So the youngest child that we have had cleanse was 5 years old. So ideally, children that can consume solid foods can have the cleanse, but within reason. So we wouldn't start a child on a full quantum cleanse. We'd start them on something more mild and easier for them to follow with parental guidance, obviously. And all of our products are 100% plant-based. So they're awesome. It's earth friendly, it's body friendly, it's eco-friendly.
I cannot believe that we have gone all the way around the clock, around the track of an hour that fast.
That was
just, didn't it fly by?
We did.
Yeah.
It really did.
It really did. And I want to ask you one more question. That's your cleanse based question. Is there any activated charcoal in there? I was just curious because when we were growing up, our mom used to give us activated charcoal to kind of get the toxins out.
No, because there's activated charcoal is really good, but one of the reasons why we don't use activated charcoal is because it doesn't do a lot of the things that another component does that we use, which is called aged volcanic bentonite clay, and it's an aged volcanic ash.
Oh, and, I got some of that right over here. Hold on.
Yeah, and it's an amazing substance because it absorbs everything. It absorbs all of the negative ions within the body, so it will absorb toxins, it will absorb radiation, it will absorb heavy metals.
So it's advanced compared to that.
Super advanced, it's super advanced,
Yeah.
and it's just absolutely amazing. So you would drink that as a shake combined with psyllium husk, and that will then move through the intestines, absorbing everything on its way through, as well as pushing out all of the debris in there as well.
Okay,
And I
last
just want to
question.
say, I did not work out once when I started this cleanse.
Oh, my kind of diet. Let me just ask you real quick. We got 1 minute left. Is this the kind of thing a person should go and say, anybody with a compromised anything, should they do, is this anything in this where a person should ask their doctor if they should do this first?
If they have a severe health condition, of course, because they're under the guidance of a physician. So we're not physicians. We're not going to prescribe or treat or do anything that has to do with, the doctor's work. So yeah, definitely.
And I'm assuming all this has been, you know how you have to get, like passed or cleared through testing and all that. All that's done.
Yeah, everything's done. Everything's certified that we use. All the products are certified by the FDA. Okay. And previously doctors, people have gone to the doctors and said, I'm going to do this cleanse. And the doctor said, well, you can do it if you want to do it, but I don't think it's going to work. And then they've gone back to the doctors and they've just blown the doctor's mind with the results that they've actually achieved on the cleanse.
Yeah.
And we've actually had doctors come to us and go, wow, this product is amazing.
Awesome.
From my professional standpoint, I'm really impressed.
Well, Tracy, that was a great point. It's vastly cheaper than medical bills, something to think about. And as we get out of here, if people want to, will you go into the comments later? I know we have this on here. That's Tracy's link. Will you go in and let people know whether it's a Facebook or wherever, if they should want to continue the dialogue in a more personal zone with you guys? People might have some issues that they don't want the world to know about, so they haven't talked about it here today, and that's perfectly understandable. But if they want to continue this dialogue with either of you or the two of you, where would they go to do that?
They would go to V-Phase Body Cleanse on Facebook. You can just type it into the search bar at the top. V-Phase, which is spelled VPHASE, Body Cleanse, and then you can find the page on Facebook, and then you can just send us a message through there.
There you go.
Or if you go to the vphasebodycleanse.com, we have a messenger chat feature, and that will just send us a direct message as well. And our team or us will pick it up, and we can speak to you directly.
Awesome. Well, unfortunately, because whenever we go over and it's getting that good, that tells me that we need to give you guys a turnstile invitation, which means you have an open invitation to come back. We need to continue this. And I might want to talk to you. I think we should talk about you guys coming on the night version, which is every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., which is Bathrobe Moments After Dark, a more adult-oriented, instead of coffee, it's cocktails. And you can have that on vegan, can't you?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, because... cut it out if you're not going to cut me in. So you guys, thank you so much. We love learning how to become better examples, how to be better versions of ourselves. And in this day and time of trying times and uncertainty, you guys don't let things like this just go in one ear and out the other. This is going to happen. There is a new normal. Don't assume this is going to be over with sooner than later. Prepare for the wide opportunity, the deep opportunity. And that means that even if there were no pandemic, don't you want to live the very best life you can? I know I do. There's the Bella Purpose yet again. You guys, I want to thank my guests today, Alaska and Charlie Xavier, coming to us all the way from Italy. Sardinia. And I want to thank all of you because you could have been anywhere you wanted to be in the world, but you took time to come and spend with me and our guests this morning here at Bathrobe Moments. And I want you to know that I thank you and that I'm very honored. So join us here again tomorrow when, Gerald Stinson, one of the people that after I won, I trained him and then he won. And now he is in his second term in the military. And he has a thing called Chasing 1,000, where he's challenging people all over the world to do 1,000 miles. You can walk, you can crawl, you can bike, you can swim, you can row, you can do all these things, but get moving. And so that's what we're doing. We're doing things today to make sure we have the very best tomorrow. Again, thank you so much, Charlie and Alexa. And thank all of you. Thank you to my sponsor for today and this week. That is symposium.us. You guys, God willing, I'll be back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central, and we'll do it all over again. I'll meet you out front on the front porch for your next episode of Bathrobe Moments. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much.
So once again, this is mucoid plaque.
All right, I'll just play it.